Let me introduce you to some of the most adorable and unusual instruments. Only small professional instruments, no child versions or toys. Quick bit of nomenclature up front. When there are various sizes of the same instrument, usually the term bass describes one of the lowest versions, and then above that is a tenor, then alto, then soprano, but you can actually go higher than a soprano instrument, and the terms become a little bit less consistent. Sopranino and piccolo both describe stratospheric ranges which are even higher than a soprano version, and Sopranissimo is the range above Sopranino. I'm only going to be discussing the cute small instruments, but below the bass, you'll also find the contrabass range. First up, we have the Spock drum. In a drum corps, tenor drums are an important part of the percussion lineup, but within a tenor set of drums is a cute accent drum or two, often called a Spock drum. They're small, high-pitched, and punchy, and also incredibly adorable when nestled in between the much larger neighboring drums. Number 9. Somewhere between an accordion and a harmonica, like a spork of musical instruments, is the melodica. Most melodicas have 32 or 37 keys, each with its own reed, but unlike the other instruments on this list, the larger-sized melodicas are the ones that can go into the higher range. Number 8. The squeezebox family of instruments are bellows-driven reed instruments in which airflow is produced by pushing and pulling with the hands. The air is directed to specific notes via keys or buttons. Accordions are the most well-known squeezebox, and they use a combination of keys and buttons. Among the smaller squeezeboxes, you'll find the English and Anglo concertinas. Modern concertinas often use mass-produced accordion reeds, but the clip I'll play uses a vintage Anglo concertina with traditional handmade concertina reeds. Number 7. If a crash cymbal gets small enough, it becomes a splash cymbal. It may not seem so cute out of context, but on a drum set, next to the larger cymbals, it not only looks adorable, but it also sounds it. Number 6. There are many sizes of clarinet, but usually the term clarinet refers to a medium-sized one in A or B flat. There is a smaller E-flat clarinet, but the A-flat clarinet is even smaller and less used. Unlike the tiny brass instruments that make it to this list, great players can actually make an A-flat clarinet sound pretty good. Number 5. Most people are aware of standard saxophone sizes, baritone, tenor, alto, and soprano, but the most common version of soprano saxophone switches to a straight shape. However, there is a curved version of the soprano as well as a curved sopranino saxophone. There's even a piccolo straight saxophone a full octave above the soprano, which exists in myth and internet called a Soprillo. Number 4. The term ukulele usually refers to the soprano version, and that's already a pretty small instrument. However, there's an even smaller sopranino ukulele, and an even smaller Sopranissimo version. Number 3. The design of a hi-hat is relatively modern, and in the 20th century, before hi-hats got high enough to play with sticks, they were much lower to the ground, and today we call this version a lowboy. I would be remiss if I didn't also point out that the evolution of the hi-hat is very close in appearance to the activation sequence of a Star Wars pit droid. Number 2, the pocket trumpet. If trumpets were dogs, the pocket trumpet would be a pug or bulldog puppy, and by this I mean that they are squashed to the point of not being very functional anymore, but they are portable and incredibly cute. Number 1. Trombones are low-range brass instruments. And the word trombone usually refers to the tenor version of the instrument. The trombone section of an orchestra also probably includes a bass trombone, and the contrabass below that is not very common. But there are also trombones above the tenor that move away from functionality and into the stratosphere of range and adorableness.